The sky above Earth had never looked more ordinary, yet humanity's fate hung in the balance. Without warning, a shadow blotted out the stars near Mars, and space monitors all over the globe erupted in alarms. A vessel unlike anything humans had ever seen floated into the solar system, a ship so massive it made Earth's largest orbital stations look like toys. It shimmered with a strange, liquid-like metal, constantly shifting in color from deep violet to electric blue. There were no visible weapons, no recognizable propulsion systems, just smooth, impossible curves, and a presence that radiated power. Admiral Lila Torres of the United Earth Defense Command gripped the edge of the bridge console as her eyes scanned the display. "Status," she demanded. "Unknown origin, size exceeding Jupiter's largest satellites, energy readings off the charts," her tactical officer replied. "No recognizable communication protocols yet." Torres exhaled slowly, keeping her expression calm. "Prepare the Odyssey. I want first contact." Captain Ren Akari stood at the helm of the Odyssey, his dark hair falling into his eyes as he watched the alien ship loom closer. Humanity had faced countless crises, asteroid threats, rogue AI rebellions, political unrest, but nothing like this. Nothing that made every instinct in his body scream that the universe was suddenly larger, colder, and far more dangerous. A blinking light signaled an incoming transmission. The bridge fell silent. The main screen flickered, revealing a being that seemed impossible. Tall, humanoid but elongated, skin a metallic silver, with 6 eyes arranged in 2 triangular patterns. The being's 4 arms moved with precision, each gesture calculating, deliberate. Its voice resonated clearly in English, though with a tone that suggested it had never truly spoken the language before. "I am Zephyros, commander of the Tharian Collective," it said. "Your primitive species has been noted. Your technology is amusing, yet intriguing." Torres tightened her grip. "I am Admiral Lila Torres, of the United Earth Defense Command. We welcome peaceful communication." The alien tilted its head, its 6 eyes scanning the crew. "Peaceful, yes? Your species is still limited. Weapons that burn chemicals, ships that barely escape gravity wells. You have survived far longer than expected." A low murmur ran across the bridge. Captain Akari exchanged a glance with Lieutenant Sana Patel, the Odyssey's weapons specialist. Sana's fingers tapped rapidly over her console, analyzing the alien ship's readings. "They're mocking us, sir," she said quietly. "But they're also observing, learning." Zephyros continued, "We offer guidance. Our fleet may provide protection and ensure the survival of your species. Resources will be shared, under supervision. Compliance ensures safety. Resistance is unwise." Torres's jaw tightened. Humanity had a history of colonization, oppression, and conquest. She would not accept patronizing oversight from aliens, no matter how advanced. "Your offer is noted," she replied steadily. "Earth requires time to consider. But understand this. Humanity does not negotiate as a client. We will make our own choices." The alien's multiple eyes blinked in synchronization. "Choice is dangerous. Yet curiosity persists. Very well. Observe." Without warning, a small drone detached from the alien ship and hovered in front of the Odyssey. In an instant, a purple energy beam streaked through space, vaporizing the drone into a cloud of glowing particles. Sensors on the Odyssey went wild, warning of energy levels far beyond anything humans had ever encountered. "That's antimatter-level energy," Sana muttered, her voice barely audible. "Our weapons would be useless." Zephyros's 6 eyes glimmered. "Observe your limitations. Energy shields protect against your kind of attack. Your primitive projectiles will fail." Torres held her composure. "Understood," she said. Inwardly, she felt the familiar fire of humanity's defiance ignite. If the aliens thought humans were weak, they had not yet seen what determination and ingenuity could achieve. For the next 2 weeks, Earth worked feverishly. Scientists, engineers, and strategists collaborated in secret. Deep beneath the Siberian mountains, Project Titan began. Massive railguns, missiles, and projectiles were designed, tested, and optimized at speeds never before achieved. Every idea, every small adjustment, pushed human ingenuity to its limits. Captain Akari visited the underground labs frequently. He watched as Dr. Elena Vasquez, a young but brilliant physicist, orchestrated tests with precision. "We don't need to match them in energy weapons," she explained, pointing to calculations on her holographic display. "We need to hit them where they haven't thought. Small, fast, unstoppable." Lieutenant Patel studied the alien fleet's behavior. "Their shields are amazing," she said. "But they only activate when detecting incoming energy. Nothing else. Kinetic, brute force, they won't see coming." Engineer Marcus Tan nodded, grinning. "Then we give them something new to fear. Project Titan isn't about explosions. It's about speed. About physics they ignore." Admiral Torres addressed the team in the final briefing. "You know the odds. One human ship, one mission. But the aliens don't expect creativity. They expect fear, compliance. Humanity doesn't comply. Humanity fights. This is our chance to remind the galaxy what that means." Days passed. The alien fleet remained at the edge of the solar system, observing, testing, waiting. Humanity's eyes never left the stars. Every family, every child, every soldier knew the tension. Yet, behind the fear, a spark of pride and hope burned brighter than ever. Finally, the Odyssey was ready. Its hull gleamed under Earth's sun, weapon systems integrated and tested. Project Titan's railguns and micro-projectile launchers promised an advantage no alien could predict. Captain Akari assembled his crew one last time. "This isn't about weapons," he said. "It's about the human mind, the human heart. That's our edge. That's what they've underestimated. And that will be their mistake." As the Odyssey launched from Earth orbit, a small dot against the vast alien fleet, the crew could feel it, the moment the universe would look at humanity differently. One small ship, one determined crew, and a weapon that could change everything. And in the alien eyes, for the first time, there was curiosity and uncertainty. The Odyssey cut through the void of space like a silver arrow, leaving Earth far behind. Outside, the alien fleet hung in formation, a glittering wall of impossible technology, silent yet menacing. Captain Ren Akari stood on the bridge, eyes fixed on the distant shapes that reflected in the viewport. 40 massive ships, each larger than the Odyssey by an order of magnitude. And yet, their confidence in humanity's inferiority was palpable. Status on fleet behavior. Admiral Torres's voice came over the comm from Earth Command. Lieutenant Sana Patel's fingers danced over her console. "They're testing us, sir. Probing shields and scanning telemetry. I've intercepted multiple communication channels. They don't think we can understand them. Yet." Akari felt a grim smile tug at his lips. The aliens assumed humans were weak. That would be their first mistake. In the lower decks, the engineers were finishing the final calibrations of Project Titan. The rail guns hummed, resonating with energy as the launch systems were tested one last time. Dr. Elena Vasquez oversaw every calculation, her gaze sharp. "We've pushed these projectiles to 0.2 light speed," she explained. "Even a tungsten rod this size carries more impact energy than any nuclear missile they've likely ever used." Engineer Marcus Tan held up one of the small, metallic rods. "It's beautiful, isn't it? A little human ingenuity with some serious physics behind it. They'll never see it coming." Sana studied the data from the alien fleet again. "Their shields are optimized for energy attacks. They never designed for relativistic kinetic projectiles. That's our advantage." Akari paced the length of the bridge, hands clasped behind his back. He reviewed the fleet's formation on the tactical screen. "They'll expect a frontal assault," he said quietly. "Straight energy weapons, predictable maneuvers. We don't give them that. We'll lure them into our gauntlet." The Odyssey's small size was a hidden advantage. Unlike the massive alien ships, it could maneuver quickly, appearing in multiple vectors almost simultaneously on their sensors. Akari tapped the intercom. "All stations, prepare for tactical exercise. We're about to run through the gauntlet." Treat it as live fire. Treat it as real. The crew moved with quiet efficiency, hearts pounding but minds sharp. For months, humanity had prepared for this exact moment. Every engineer, every technician, every soldier understood that the success of Project Titan and Earth's survival rested in their hands. As the Odyssey approached the inner perimeter of the alien fleet, the first probes began to scan aggressively, small streaks of energy firing across the void. Patel's console beeped. They're measuring response times, shield activation patterns. They think they're testing us, but we're testing them too. Akari nodded. Deploy decoys. Make them focus on false threats. Drones mimicking the Odyssey's signature appeared on the sensors, moving in unpredictable directions. Several beams from the aliens struck the decoys, instantly disintegrating them. The real Odyssey darted forward, zigzagging between the massive alien ships, invisible and elusive. Below deck, Vasquez adjusted the railgun firing sequence. Timing is critical. One wrong calculation, and the projectile is wasted. At 0.2 light speed, even a minor misalignment is catastrophic, for us. Marcus Tan smiled. All for them. The first volley launched. Tiny rods of pure kinetic energy streaked across the void. On the alien flagship, Zephyrosa's 6 eyes widened as several projectiles hit the shields simultaneously. The shields shimmered, absorbing energy as designed, but then a rod passed through a blind spot. The ship shuddered violently. For the first time, the alien commander realized these humans were capable of thinking beyond predictable rules. Impossible, Zephyros muttered, a ripple of alarm passing over his skin. They anticipate us. On the Odyssey, Patel calculated the next salvo, adjusting angles to exploit every shield pattern observed in the previous volley. Each shot was precise, relentless, and terrifyingly effective. Admiral Torres's voice crackled through the comm. Captain Akari, the fleet is reacting. They're recalibrating shields and moving ships defensively. Akari leaned forward, a calm determination in his eyes. Exactly as predicted. Now we push them further. He signaled the crew to launch the second phase, a series of diversion maneuvers designed to split the alien fleet. The Odyssey darted through gaps, appearing on multiple tactical screens simultaneously. The aliens fired endlessly, energy beams flaring across space, but none struck the real ship. Admiral, the shield patterns, they're perfect against lasers, but they can't predict multiple high-speed kinetic projectiles in succession, Patel observed. We can take down at least 5 ships in this first engagement. Akari nodded. Then we make every shot count. Back on Earth, people watched with bated breath. News channels broadcasted faint sensor readings, the alien ships slowly becoming more aggressive. Yet humanity held its nerve. The Odyssey's crew moved like a well-oiled machine, each member anticipating the next move. The first 5 alien ships exploded in a flash of brilliant light. Micro-projectiles, tiny but unstoppable, penetrated critical points, tearing ships apart from the inside out. For the first time in their history, Zephyros felt something alien, fear. They adapt, he whispered to his lieutenants. They think differently. Akari allowed himself a small, private smile. Humanity's strength had never been in raw power. It was in imagination, creativity, and the relentless drive to survive. One small ship, one brilliant idea, and the galaxy was beginning to see what humans could do. Yet the battle was far from over. The alien fleet regrouped, massive ships shifting formations, adjusting to the Odyssey's unpredictable tactics. Akari studied the screens carefully. They're learning fast. But we've given them lessons they weren't expecting. And we still have more tricks. Below deck, Vasquez and her team prepared the next wave of Project Titan's weapons. We can't fire all at once, she said. We need to give them hope, then take it away. Akari turned toward Patel. Targeting and trajectory alignment ready. Yes, sir. Every blind spot mapped. Every shield weakness exploited. Our projectiles will find their mark. He glanced at the viewport, where the alien ships now appeared to glint like a wall of stars. This is humanity's moment. Not just to survive, but to show the universe what humans are capable of. The Odyssey surged forward, small yet deadly, racing toward the fleet that had thought humans primitive and weak. The gauntlet was only beginning. And for the first time, the crew realized, the galaxy would never underestimate humanity again. The Odyssey streaked through the black of space, a small silver dart against a fleet that could crush entire planets. Captain Ren Akari's eyes never left the main viewport, where 40 alien ships glinted like massive, deadly jewels. The first volley of Project Titan had destroyed several vessels, but the Tharian Collective's remaining fleet was adapting, their shields flickering and shifting faster than before. "Captain, the aliens are forming a new defensive lattice," Lieutenant Sana Patel reported, her fingers flying over the console. "They're learning from our movements, but their reactions are still slightly delayed. Just enough for us." Akari nodded. "Good. Maintain evasive maneuvers, but keep the trajectory tight. Every shot must hit its target. We can't waste a single projectile." Below deck, Dr. Elena Vasquez oversaw the next wave of Project Titan launch preparations. "We're increasing the velocity of the micro-projectiles," she said. "By 0.25 light speed, their shields will barely have time to react. One hit, and even their heavy armor can't withstand it." Engineer Marcus Tan held up a rod for the crew to inspect. "These little things might look harmless," he said with a grin. "But at this speed, they're unstoppable. No energy shield on record can stop them." Akari called a tactical meeting with the senior crew. "They expect brute force. They think size and energy output matter most. But we have something they don't: adaptability. Their tactics are rigid. Our advantage is strategy, speed, and unpredictability. We hit one blind spot at a time. They won't know what's coming until it's too late." Patel activated the holographic display, showing a simulation of the fleet's current positions. "I've mapped the shield activation cycles from the last volley," she explained. "If we fire in this sequence, we can take down at least 10 more ships before they recalibrate fully." Akari's jaw tightened. "Then we do it. Timing is everything. Launch in 3, 2, 1. The railguns fired, a silent barrage of glowing rods hurtling toward the alien ships. On the alien flagship, Commander Zephyrosa's 6 eyes widened in alarm. "They've adapted their trajectory calculations. Our shields cannot compensate in time." Several of the micro-projectiles pierced through the outer hulls, detonating inside critical systems. The ships shuddered and broke apart in brilliant explosions that scattered glowing debris across space. "This is unbelievable," Zephyros muttered to his lieutenants. "They are thinking. They anticipate our response." On the Odyssey, the crew remained calm under pressure. Every system was synchronized, every shot calculated. Even as smaller energy beams from the alien ships flared around them, the Odyssey darted and twisted, almost dancing through the deadly lattice. "Shields holding at 92%, Patel said. "But they're redirecting more energy toward us. They're getting desperate." Akari glanced at the viewport, watching the alien formation begin to fracture. "That's the opening we need. Prepare the secondary payload." Vasquez's team activated the next stage of Project Titan, micro-projectiles with specialized payloads designed to bypass the alien shield's frequency patterns entirely. These rods weren't just fast, they were unpredictable in trajectory, tiny yet immensely destructive. "Launch sequence in progress," Vasquez announced. "Targeting recalculated for maximum efficiency." The Odyssey's crew held their breath as the tiny rods streaked through space, invisible until they slammed into the alien ships. On impact, the shields flickered, and the ships disintegrated from the inside out. The fleet's formation collapsed, leaving massive gaps. "Captain, we're seeing multiple system failures across the fleet," Patel exclaimed. "They've underestimated the velocity and size ratio of our projectiles." Akari allowed himself a brief, quiet smile. Humanity's ingenuity had turned what the aliens thought were primitive weapons into a nightmare they couldn't predict. Zephyrosa's voice was sharp, panicked. "Concentrate fire on the small ship. Destroy it before it destroys us all." But the Odyssey didn't just run, it manipulated the battlefield. Akari ordered evasive maneuvers that made the ship appear in multiple locations at once, a series of decoys and calculated ghost images confusing the alien sensors. Each time the aliens fired, their energy beams missed, striking empty space or harmless debris. "Admiral Torres, we're initiating Phase 3, Akari reported over comm. This is where we split their fleet completely. Once they're divided, we pick them off individually." Back on Earth, global citizens watched in awe. Scientists, children, and military personnel held their breath as reports filtered in. Humanity had turned a desperate situation into a strategic offensive. The world realized, collectively, that survival wasn't about power alone. It was about intelligence, creativity, and courage. The alien fleet, meanwhile, was in chaos. Ships collided or overcompensated for attacks they could not anticipate. Communication breakdowns erupted as Zephyros barked orders that could not keep up with the Odyssey's relentless unpredictability. "Captain, shields down to 68%. Patel called out. "They're trying to reorganize, but we've forced errors in their formation." Akari leaned forward. "All stations, target the flanks. Focus on one ship at a time. This is our advantage, precision." Vasquez and Tan watched as their calculations came to life in the void. Project Titan rods sliced through gaps in the shields, detonating with precision. One by one, alien vessels exploded in flashes of brilliant light. The Odyssey's crew cheered quietly, but Akari knew the battle wasn't over yet. This was only the beginning of proving humanity's ingenuity to a civilization that thought them weak. In the alien flagship, Zephyros stared at the holodisplay, stunned. How can such a primitive species? His 6 eyes flicked frantically. Every calculation failed to account for human creativity. They had expected predictability. They had expected fear. What they received was cunning, adaptability, and relentless determination. On the Odyssey, Akari stood tall. Humanity fights not because we are stronger, but because we refuse to surrender. And that, our ingenuity, that is something no alien can underestimate. Patel nodded, smiling despite the tension. "They're learning the hard way. We don't play by their rules." Vasquez whispered to Tan as they prepared the next wave. "They thought we were weak. They thought we couldn't survive. Soon, they'll realize we're unstoppable." As the Odyssey maneuvered through the remnants of the fractured alien fleet, Captain Akari gazed at the stars. Humanity's ingenuity had turned the tide. One small ship, one brilliant strategy, one determined crew, and the galaxy was beginning to remember the meaning of humanity. F***** star. The void of space burned with energy flares and debris. The Tharian Collective's fleet, once a wall of unstoppable force, now staggered under the relentless assault of a single human ship. Captain Ren Akari stood on the bridge of the Odyssey, eyes fixed on the holographic display that showed the alien ships breaking formation. Humanity's first true victory was within reach, but he knew this moment demanded caution and precision. One wrong move could undo everything. Status on remaining vessels. Admiral Torres's voice came over the secure comlink from Earth Command. Lieutenant Sana Patel's fingers moved rapidly across her console. 33 remain. Shields are weakened, but they're reorganizing. We force them to split into 3 clusters. It's chaotic, but our advantage is in their confusion. Akari nodded. Exactly. Chaos is a weapon. Phase 4. Implement the law strategy. We're going to draw them into a trap. Below deck, Dr. Elena Vasquez adjusted the firing sequences for Project Titan's next salvo. "We've modified the rods to create secondary impacts," she explained. "Even if one misses a critical component, the shockwave from another will finish the job. Their shields can't adapt fast enough to multiple, high-speed kinetic strikes at once." Engineer Marcus Tan grinned. "They think they're fighting one ship, one set of rules. But humans don't follow rules, they make them." Akari turned to Patel. "Prepare diversionary drones. We need them focused on false targets so the real payload can hit unopposed." The drones launched, tiny holographic projections of the Odyssey, zipping through space at impossible speeds. The alien ships fired relentlessly, energy beams streaking past the real ship harmlessly. Then, with calculated precision, the Odyssey shifted its trajectory, appearing on multiple tactical displays simultaneously. "Now, fire the secondary salvo," Akari commanded. A swarm of microprojectiles streaked forward at relativistic speed, piercing the shields of two of the largest alien vessels. The impact detonated their cores in brilliant, blinding flashes. The fleet staggered. For the first time, Zephyrosa's confidence faltered. They adapt faster than predicted," the alien commander hissed. His 6 eyes blinked rapidly, calculating, but failing to anticipate the ingenuity of the human strategy. On the Odyssey, the crew worked in perfect synchrony. Every movement, every calculation, every shot was a demonstration of human creativity under pressure. Akari's calm voice guided them through the chaos. "Focus fire on clusters. Avoid energy zones. Predict shield activation delays. Keep moving." Patel adjusted targeting. "I've identified 3 more blind spots per cluster. We can hit them in sequence without their shields catching on. This will fracture their fleet even further." The Odyssey's microprojectiles tore through the alien ships, shattering engines, weapon systems, and structural integrity. The explosions rippled through space like fireworks, each one a testament to human ingenuity and courage. Back on Earth, the global broadcast captured the destruction in real time. Humanity watched in awe as one small ship systematically dismantled a fleet thought invincible. People cheered, tears streaking their faces. Humanity was proving itself not just in survival, but in brilliance, creativity, and determination. In the alien flagship, Zephyrosa's 6 eyes darted between the display panels, panic rising. They are not predictable. They exploit weaknesses we did not consider. Shields, speed, trajectory, all irrelevant against their adaptability. Akari seized the moment. "Now, execute the final phase. Prepare the Titan overload." Vasquez's eyes lit up. "We've been holding this in reserve. One last wave, designed to hit every critical subsystem in the remaining fleet simultaneously. Even if their shields react, the force will overwhelm them." Tan loaded the final projectiles into the launch tubes. "This is it. Humanity shows them what we're made of." The Odyssey surged forward, weaving through the remnants of the alien fleet. Project Titan's final wave fired, each rod a streak of unstoppable kinetic energy. Shields shimmered, faltered, and failed. Alien ships exploded in a dazzling cascade of light. The remaining vessels scattered, retreating in disarray, some barely functional. Zephyrosa's voice was a whisper of disbelief. "Impossible, one ship, one species." Akari leaned back, watching the destruction unfold. "This is the difference between them and us," he said quietly. "They have power, yes. But humans have creativity, resilience, and the will to survive. That is something no technology can replicate." Patel smiled, a mixture of relief and exhilaration. "We did it. They're retreating." Vasquez allowed herself a small laugh. It wasn't brute force, that one. It was thinking differently, using physics, speed, and ingenuity. That's humanity. The Odyssey hovered silently as the alien fleet retreated beyond sensor range, battered and broken. Humanity had not just survived, it had triumphed against insurmountable odds. One small crew, one brilliant strategy, one simple but ingenious weapon had changed the balance of power in the solar system. Akari turned to his crew, pride in his eyes. "This is just the beginning. The galaxy has underestimated humanity for too long. Let today be the day that changes everything. We fight not because we are invincible, but because we are clever, resilient, and unyielding. That is what makes us unstoppable." Patel nodded. "And the universe will remember it." As the Odyssey charted a course back to Earth, the crew knew that humanity's ingenuity had just been announced to the stars. The galaxy had witnessed something new, the brilliance, creativity, and unbreakable spirit of one species determined to survive against all odds. For the first time, humans weren't just part of the galaxy, they had made their mark. One ship, one weapon, one crew, and a message that could not be ignored: underestimate humanity at your own peril. The stars were calm now, but the aftermath of chaos lingered in space. The Tharian Collective's fleet had retreated, their massive ships scattered and damaged. The Odyssey floated like a silver sentinel among the remnants, the crew exhausted but alive. Captain Ren Akari stood on the bridge, staring out at the black void where alien ships once formed an impenetrable wall. Humanity had done the impossible. Lieutenant Sana Patel broke the silence. They're retreating beyond sensor range. Their formation is destroyed. They won't challenge us again, at least not soon. Akari exhaled, a weight lifting from his shoulders. They underestimated humans. They thought we were weak. But what they didn't see is what humans are capable of when survival depends on ingenuity, creativity, and courage. Below deck, Dr. Elena Vasquez and engineer Marcus Tan examined the final telemetry reports from Project Titan. Every system performed perfectly, Vasquez said, smiling. We designed the rods to exploit shield weaknesses, and they did exactly what we hoped. Tan laughed quietly. Who knew a little physics and a lot of human stubbornness could take down a fleet like theirs? Akari addressed his crew, his voice calm but filled with pride. Today, we've done more than survive. We've shown the galaxy that humanity cannot be dismissed. One small ship, one weapon system, one determined crew, we changed the course of history. The Tharian Collective now knows, humans are not primitive. Humans are relentless. Humans are clever. And humans will fight. The bridge crew exchanged quiet nods, understanding the weight of his words. They had faced an enemy that dwarfed them in size and power, an alien civilization that had existed for tens of thousands of years. Yet, through innovation, courage, and teamwork, humanity had turned the tide. Suddenly, sensors picked up a signal from the alien fleet, weak, fragmented, but unmistakable. Zephyrosa's voice crackled across a secure, untraceable frequency. Humans, you have exceeded expectations. Your species is remarkable. This is not over, but you have earned respect. Akari's eyes narrowed, a small smile forming. They acknowledge us. Not as clients, not as primitives, but as equals. Patel's fingers flew over her console, decoding the last of the alien transmission. It's strange. Their tone isn't hostile anymore. It's cautious. Almost admiring. Vasquez shook her head, still grinning. They thought they were teaching humans a lesson. Instead, we taught them one. Akari turned to the crew. Today proves something essential. We don't need to match alien technology in brute force. We need imagination, adaptability, and determination. Those are our true weapons. And now the galaxy knows it. Back on Earth, news of the victory spread like wildfire. People cheered in streets, offices, and homes across every continent. Humanity had faced annihilation and emerged victorious, not through sheer firepower, but through intellect, unity, and unwavering spirit. Admiral Lila Torres addressed the United Earth Defense Command. This is a pivotal moment in human history. We have proven that no challenge, no matter how insurmountable, can break us when we act with intelligence and courage. The galaxy has seen the might of human ingenuity firsthand. This is humanity, yeah. In the weeks that followed, the Odyssey returned to Earth as a hero ship, its crew celebrated for their bravery and brilliance. Project Titan became the foundation of humanity's new defense strategy, combining speed, creativity, and technology in ways the aliens had never anticipated. Captain Akari stood on the observation deck, gazing at the stars. We fought with what we had and turned it into what we needed, he said quietly. Humans will continue to rise, not because we're the strongest, but because we never stop thinking, never stop adapting, and never stop fighting for what's ours. Patel joined him, her eyes reflecting the stars. And the galaxy will remember this day. They won't forget that humans can surprise even the most advanced civilizations. Akari nodded. Let them remember. Let every corner of the stars know that humanity is clever, resilient, and unstoppable. One ship, one crew, one species, and an idea that cannot be defeated. We never give up. As Earth's sun rose over the horizon, the Odyssey floated in orbit, a symbol of human ingenuity and courage. Humanity had faced annihilation, stared into the void, and emerged victorious. The stars, once indifferent, now held a new respect for a species that refused to be counted out. And somewhere in the vast reaches of the galaxy, Zephyros and the Tharian Collective recalculated their strategies, knowing that one day, humans would rise again, and next time, they would be ready. But for now, the message was clear. Humanity fights with heart, with mind, and with creativity. Humanity never surrenders. Humanity stands. Humanity. F***ed at ***.